Hey friends, good morning from Shambhala. It's Andy Kennedy, and I am going to show you our water system, finally. We're on an intentional community in eastern Tennessee. It's called the Shambhala Collective. We're off-grid. There's no water to this land, no water facilities from the infrastructure from the county of Hawkins County. So we are collecting our own water. There's a little bit of our gray water piping right there. But I'm going to start here at the tank. This was our first piece that we added in. I did a separate video on our water collection system. So you'll have to watch that video to learn a little bit more about how we did our calculation and built our water catchment system. But this is a 1,500 gallon water tank. And this right here, this little structure is our pump house. So I'm going to show you the pump house, and we're going to talk about our water system and how it goes into the house. These are our roof panels. We just took them all off and washed them. And then this is the inside of our pump house. So we've got here we go, if I can get down low, perfect. We've got a shallow well pump here, and that's the pipe that's coming in from the tank. So that comes in right to the shallow well pump, and then to our pressure tank. And then we have a 2 filter system. That's our carbon filter, and that's our ultraviolet light filter. So we have a bypass built around those two things. And there we go. I'm going to pause the video, take you up top, and show you how this goes. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you the PEX. So we've got this little spigot and PEX adaptation coming out of the pump house. We have a stop here, and that functions as a drain. There was a drain right off the pressure tank as well. So we have multiple points where we can drain when we get below freezing here. We are also going to heat tape some of these pipes and insulate some of these pipes so that we're coming into winter here. We're at November 20th, I think it is already today. So then our PEX, there we go, runs along the roofing panel there where we're catching our water, and runs up to the house. You can also see kind of our elaborate gray water system there. Eventually that gray water is going to go into a separate tank, just a regular 275 IBC tank that's going to be combined with our urine water, and then that will be used on the gardens and kind of dispersed all around here. Out this way, we have the beginnings of our first food forest orchard, as well as out that way. So some of those more wet feet liking plants are going to be placed where that drains constantly, and then also will come from that IBC tote. So we'll catch some of it as a reserve, and then we'll disperse the rest of it, right? So let me pause and walk up there and show you the rest. As with every project, we've had delays on this one due to whether, we didn't have someone to help us build that pump house, or we didn't have the right parts, or the weather, or whatever. And some things on this whole house project took precedent over that running water piece, unfortunately, like electricity. So the PEX comes up here. This is our hot water pressure or hot water heater. And it will have a propane tank underneath it. It's not quite hooked up yet, but it will be in the next day or two, which is exciting. Still working on the bathhouse. The shower is going to be here. The toilet area is in here, and then we have a sink here. Okay, so those three things aren't hooked up yet. Actually, there's 2 sinks in there. There's a pedestal sink as well. And then the kitchen sink is currently hooked up. So we just got that running the other day. Is just this system coming up with the 2 PEX lines and the gray water line there. So just a couple of fittings there. We PEXed the whole bathhouse before we finished insulating it and enclosing it. So we've got PEX lines. You can't even see them. They're buried in the walls here. One line will come out here at this pedestal sink. Our urinal will actually, like I said, feed into the gray water system. And then below here, let's see if I can tilt this up and show, This is kind of what it looks like in the walls, of course. Those of you who are familiar with PEX know PEX. So we've got a shut off here so that we can shut off that other sink and shower if we need to. And then there's a shut off right below this, which obviously is shut right now because this sink isn't hooked up as well. So pretty easy system. What's beneficial about the PEX that we've been told is that it expands and contracts. So when it's really cold outside, it will, you know, it won't burst. The line, if there's any frozen line, they won't burst. So that's our water system. Pretty easy. It's taken us a while, just because some things do when you're building your own home from scratch, when you've never built a home before. We've had a lot of help, so I'm not taking credit for any of that system other than just sort of designing the basics for ourselves. But we've got definitely hats off to our helpers, Danny and Chris and Kevin, who've all, and Lang, of course, for those of you who follow us know who helped us build the bathhouse and the yurts and everything. This is a long project in the making. I think the little yurt up there, the family that's going in the yurt up top, is going to go a little quicker than our system because they broke that one down from North Carolina and brought it here. So they broke their whole system down and they're just going to put it all back together, which is amazing. I can't imagine breaking this whole system down. But it is a little bit of a smaller breakdown than ours would be. But anyway, when it rains here, that whole tank fills up. And I probably should have shown you that, but again, you can go and check that other video out. So I'll put a link below for that video. Definitely follow us on Shambhala. We don't have a YouTube page for Shambhala just yet, but we will soon. So if you see this video there, we have made that channel, but other than that, all these videos are going on my channel for now. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you are also building a DIY house or have a channel about your homestead, or are off the grid, please share your link, connect with us. As many resources as we all can share, the better, right? So hugs from Shambhala,